Hello everyone, welcome back to another Rosie video. As you know, recently the new Star Wars Unlimited game has came out. I personally am a big fan of it. I've really been enjoying it. I've actually went and gone to my local game store and played a couple games of it. I've been building decks with my friends. I've drafted it. I've played constructed. I've played the starter decks, and I think I've played enough to formulate a very basic opinion on how good the leaders are. And so this is what this video is. It's just a tier list. We're gonna go through each leader. I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on them, just really quickly, and which ones I think you should be running, or which ones I think maybe are a bit more of a challenge to build. And I mean that's about all there is to it. So let's just get right into it. First up, right here is Boba. I think Boba is a S tier leader. I actually have built my own Boba deck. Unfortunately, it's not meta at all because I only have access to the few packs that I bought right now because every local game store I've gone to has been sold out of the game. So if I wanted to get better cards for it, I need to, I guess, wait a little bit to be able to get cards. I don't really want to order anything online because I like supporting my local game stores. And I can wait a week or two before I get more cards. I'm having fun playing him regardless, but his ability to untap resources or ready resources. Sorry, I'm so trying to switch terminology from magic and stuff like that. But his ability to ready a resource when an opponent's unit dies, as is horizontal, is very good. And then on top of that, the ability when he is in his unit state, where when he completes an attack, so after he's done attacking, if opponent's unit has left play, you get to untap or ready two resources. That is just really good for tempo, and I think he's going to be probably the best mid-range leader for the time being. Obviously, more leaders are going to come out and more strategies and stuff, and there might be some cards that come out that make some of these leaders on this list way stronger. But just right now with the base set, they aren't that strong. Number two is Chewy. I think Chewy is probably in the C tier somewhere, just because his ability to put something into play and then give it Sentinel until the end of the phase is pretty good, but it's kind of Sentinel until the end of the phase is only so good, and it's a little situational. Um, and most of the time, when it matters, I think you're going to be playing against people who are just going to be able to mow that down, that Sentinel that you placed in. So I think he's good. I think the flip side of him with the two, he's 2-9, I believe, something like that with grit. The grit is very nice, but he's a little clunky. He's a little slow. I think he's one of those ones that could end up being better. Grand Inquisitor is a very interesting build, and I want to put him A, but I really don't know how strong he really is. I've only seen him in action once or twice now. He's somewhere in the A to B rank. I might end up switching some of these leaders around eventually, but right now I'm looking at Grand Inquisitor at A. If you build around the grit mechanic specifically, so like every time a unit takes damage, they get +1/+0 when they attack, because or it might be permanent. I'm not sure, but they get a damage boost for all the damage they've taken. So him doing 2 points of damage to your own unit and then being able to ready them and let them attack, and then it'll be boosted with grit. Like you can attack the turn you play. It'll be boosted by grit. That's just strong. And even if it's just one person, I think he's one of those that as the game progresses, we're gonna keep seeing more and more that people are gonna go back to the Grand Inquisitor and be like, okay, that's a pretty strong card. But only time will tell, of course. Han Solo is, I want to say he's like a B, maybe A also. He lets you put another resource into play and then you sacrifice one at the end of the turn. So you get to boost yourself up a little one, but you're also sacrificing a card. So again, of course, every leader you're gonna build around the leader, right? So building around it, it's an interesting mechanic. I just don't know how strong it is compared to like Boba, where you're getting an extra resource, but it's because you're readying something. So that difference, I think, puts Boba definitely above Han. And I would have to see someone's deck that just absolutely rails if I were to put him anywhere else besides A and maybe B. But we'll keep him on B for now. Hera, I think I need to double check what Hera does actually. Hera leader ability. Um, Ignore the aspect penalty on Spectre card you play. Yeah, she's going to D. Spectre right now is very specific. You're basically building the Rebels crew with Spectre. I don't think they maybe work that well together. Like, if you were to just play, I don't know, Imperials with Vader, or Rebels with Luke, or something like that, or Rebels with Leia. Like, I feel like it's just if you're trying to do like a tribal type synergy, there's just better tribal tribes to do it with. Of course, that's you know could not be the case. I really haven't seen her get played just because she's so specific. So I'm interested to see. I mean, dude, someone could make a deck with her and it just dominate. The game is so out in the open right now. Like, I'm making this tier list. I'm interested to see how I feel about this tier list in a month or 2 months' time. So maybe I'll make a video then, expressing like what's changed, how I feel about different things. But for now, Hera is definitely a D. Now, IG88 I think is a B tier. I've seen a lot of people not give him that much credit, but when built around properly, he is scary. That +1/+0 every turn or whatever with attacking. I mean, that could be if you go for 8 turns in the game. That's an additional 8 points of damage that could be directed at your base or something like that. And that's almost a third of your health right there. So I think he's B. I think as the game progresses and grows, I think we'll see him drop more and more down right here. But in a meta where people, one, can't get all the cards they want right now, and two, just don't really like understand the perfect inner workings of the game and stuff, I think IG belongs at B for now. Now Krennic, I don't know how I feel about him. I think he's another B, maybe C. I just don't see him being. Let's just to double check where he does. It's something +1/+0 if he's taking damage, right? Each friendly damage user gets +1/+0, and then you flip him over. I just don't think he's that strong. Like I think he. I know people are wanting to play him as like more of a control leader or something like that. I would have to be very hard pressed to I don't know. God, this tier lists are hard. It's fun content. It's fun to think about and stuff, but we'll keep him at C for now. I feel like I'm gonna regret putting him at C, but he's a C leader in my eyes. Now Leia is gonna be another one of those B, maybe A leaders. I'll keep her at B for now because I built a draft deck with her and she did not perform that well. But I think if you were to build specifically around Leia, she would perform much, much better. So I can't really blame her for that. I think that's mainly user error on my end. But being able to attack twice, what her ability is exhaust her, and you can attack with 2 rebel units. I mean, that's strong. The problem is when you go against like some of the more meta picks, like Sabine, for example, or Boba, it feels like you're playing off your back foot the entire time you play against them, regardless of the leader that you're playing too. But Leia really, really feels like you're playing off your back foot with her, and it's impossible to establish a board state for some of these matchups. So for that, she gets to go at B. Now Luke is one I genuinely believe is A tier. He's definitely above Grand Inquisitor too. If we're gonna get really specific, just like I think Krennic is above here. Leia is probably no. I think that's right. Anyway, Luke, I think so. We'll just go ahead and do the other starter deck one too. I think they're right next to each other in A tier. I don't think they're the best. I think that you can have a really strong build around them. Um, and I think Luke is barely better than Vader, but here's why. I think Vader has a lower or a higher skill floor, so anybody can pilot Vader's deck, and it will be um, not necessarily played well, but it'll be easier for them to play. Luke, I think, like if you play Luke poorly, you feel the impact of it more than if you play Vader poorly. That's what I'm trying to say. But Luke played at a very high level with perfect shields and perfect placements and stuff like that. I think Luke comes out on Vader just barely. And Vader, his ability to ping specific stuff, and then, he just blows up shields that way. and then his ability to ping on attack when you flip him over, and then you equip his lightsaber to him and stuff. I think Vader's strong. Don't get me wrong. And Vader is a fun deck to play. I think he's just barely under Luke. Because I think Luke can control the board state a little bit more with protection. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, I think they could go either way. You could give it 2 weeks, and I might say Vader's up here and Luke is A tier, or Vader's in front of Luke or whatever. Like it's like that. But right now I think Luke is better. I also upgraded my Luke deck. Um, this was after I'd already decided I think Luke is a little better. My girlfriend actually pulled a Luke unit card out of the draft that we did. I made her draft with me because we needed an extra body. But she pulled the Luke elite unit card, so I was like, oh, I guess I'm upgrading Luke. So my Luke deck is actually upgraded right now from the starter set. My Vader deck is untouched, but I do plan on upgrading Vader, and I'm wondering if upgrading when they're both, because obviously I have no experience with Luke and Vader at their max capacity. I have no experience with any of these leaders at their max capacity. But out of the box, Luke feels like it's a little bit stronger. But I wonder if upgraded, I might say Vader's stronger. So very, very up in the air right now. But I think this is a good spot for it. Sabine, I think, is the best leader in the game right now. Just in the reason I think Sabine is the best leader in the game is, one, she has a very strong ability. But two, the meta, like I said earlier, like nobody has. It's not like Magic where you can just buy all the singles you want for a deck right now. Like my game store is literally sold out. I've called 2 or 3 other game stores in different areas, 2 different towns and whatnot. They're all sold out. They're expecting stock to get back in a week or two. So all these decks that people are playing, they're playing with what they just pulled out of maybe a box that they bought or something like that. And so these decks are very underpowered right now. Sabine is so efficient and so fast, it is impossible for some of these decks to keep up with her unless they pulled very specific cards or they have a very specific deck engineered to prevent it. So right now, I think Sabine, especially in the current meta, is super strong because nobody else can deal with the aggro. I also think it's just kind of the case in a lot of the beginnings of like when TCGs first start and stuff. Aggro is normally a very safe route to go for people. It's also a very cheap route a lot of times. A lot of the aggro cards will be cheap, small cards that people can afford and stuff. So you see aggro a lot. But as it stands right now, I think Sabine is the best leader in the game. I think as people get more cards, I think Boba might pull ahead of her, just because Boba's value and his resource usage is awesome, and I think it's very, very good. Moff Tarkin. What is Tarkin's ability? I actually need to double check this one. I have a copy of them, but actually give an experience. Oh yeah, experience tokens. I think he's probably B or A. Like I think he's top of B. Would maybe go A. It's just a very simple ability, but it's also like it's essentially +1/+1 counters, right? Plus they're strong. Boosting your guys for what is it, 1 resource a turn. You get to give a 1/1 counter or something like that's solid. It doesn't do anything crazy. It's not like Sabine. It's not going to whittle away at your opponent. It's not like Boba. You're not getting a ton of value out of it or anything. But it's a consistent little boost that you can give your guys. I think Luke's shields are better. I think a shield is better than a 1/1 counter, and that's why he's not an A. Also, Vader and Grand Inquisitor I think are a little stronger too, but that would be why they're not in base. Or what's Thrawn's ability? It's something with looking on top of the deck, but I just want to make sure. Okay, when activated start, look at the top card of each player's deck. So that's a blank or regular just triggered ability. Action, 1 energy, exhaust, reveal the top card of any player's deck. Exhaust a unit that costs the same or less as the reveal card. Interesting. The free information makes him pretty good. I think he goes A. Yeah, I think he's better than. I think he's right here. Just because free info without having to do anything is super solid. I just realized I'm completely blocking abilities, but I guess I read them. The free info right here is super good. I like that a lot. Even if you don't ever use this ability, I mean, he's still solid. But also being able to use that ability for 1 energy makes him a super strong. Being able to exhaust something for 1 is very, very nice. This is Andor. I think he's like C. I don't think Andor's very good. He's the one that you can draw a card if you do 3 damage to the opponent's base. I think it's okay. I don't know. He's another one of them aggro like commanders, or not commanders, leaders. Sorry, I'm trying. I'm trying so hard. He's aggro, but you just better off going Sabine. He's also in red too, which Sabine is red. So I don't know. This is I forgot her name, but she heals. I think she's right here. I think I played her. I played against her. Sorry, and I pub stomped her with Luke. So healing um, 1 health when a base gets hurt, or not 1 health when a enemy unit dies, is not really that good, especially because in this game you can't heal higher than your base's printed value. So if your base has 30 health, you can't heal past 30. So you can only ever get back to your maximum. I think it is just better to play any other leader. Um, I'm moving her down to D. I think she's the worst leader in the game right now. Um, just think if you think about it in Magic terms too, like you can't win the game by healing. You have to do damage. I feel like healing is meh, and I feel like doing more damage is better. So the last one is this is Jen Urso. She's the one that gives +1 or something. Attack with the unit -1. So you tap her, attack with the unit, defender gets -1 for attack, and then friendly unit is attacking the defender gets -1. I think she's probably in the B. She's probably like right here. The blanket effect when you flip her over, like this one. Oh, I'm moving the wrong thing. Sorry. This blanket effect right here is pretty good. This one, where attack with the unit, defender gets -1, -0 for the attack. That is not that good. And I feel like you're better off running maybe a different leader. So maybe we go like. I feel like IG88's better. Not sure. Not sure. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all I got. Tell me what you think. Does your tier list look like mine? Does your tier list look completely different? Who do you think's the best leaders in the game? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Lets me know that you guys enjoy this stuff. Goodbye.